बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। मुअज़्ज़िज़ नाज़रीन किराम, अस्सलामु अलैकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू एंड वेलकम टू रेज़ ऑफ होप। उम्मीद की किरणों के साथ तारिक गौरी हाजिर खिदमत है। नाज़रीन मोहतरम, किसी ने बहुत खूब कहा है कि एक दिन मरने के लिए सारी ज़िंदगी जीना पड़ता है। अगर आप मेरी बात से कुछ समझ पाए हों तो आज का प्रोग्राम एक ख़ास अहमियत का हामिल है। एक आय करीमा जो कमोबेश हर मुसलमान मर्द और औरत, इवन के हमारे 8-9 साल के बच्चे बच्चियां भी यकीनन अज़बर याद किए हुए हैं और उसके मानी मुराद मफ़हूम भी काफ़ी हद तक समझते हैं। चुनाचे इरशाद कुछ इस तरह से है, रब करीम का इरशाद है, बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, कुल्लु नफ्सिन ज़ाइक़तुल मौत, सदक़ल्लाहुल अज़ीम। ये एक ऐसी हकीकत है कि हर जी नफ्स को मौत का जायका एक दिन चखना है। ये कायनात का सबसे बड़ा सच है। आप किसी भी शय का इनकार कर सकते हैं, यहाँ तक कि लोग खुदा वहदहु ला शरीक के वजूद का भी इनकार करते हैं। अगर कोई ऐसी शय है कि जिसका कोई ताहाल इनकार नहीं कर सका और ना कर सकता है, वो ये हकीकत है कि जिसने दुनिया में आंखें खोली हैं, एक दिन ये आँख हमेशा के लिए बंद होने जा रही है। लेकिन जो ज़िंदगी में और आप गुजार रहे हैं, और सबसे पहले मैं ये बात अपने लिए कहना चाहता हूँ, हमारा मकसूद महज दुनिया का हुसूल रह गया है। हम हर शय पर गुफ्तगू करते हैं, हर शय की सिक्योरिटी चाहते हैं। गाड़ी ख़रीदते हैं, ऑटो इंश्योरेंस इज़ देयर, घर ख़रीदते हैं, होम इंश्योरेंस इज़ देयर, और मेजॉरिटी ऑफ अस हैव अ लाइफ इंश्योरेंस एज वेल। व्हेन आई एम डेड, ओके, माय फैमिली हैज़ फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम। ये हमारा मौजू नहीं है। मौजू हमारा वहाँ से शुरू होता है, व्हेन आई एम डेड देन व्हाट इज़ नेक्स्ट। ये वो क्वेश्चन है। अगर अपनी ज़ात की बात करता हूँ तो मुझसे सैकड़ों बार लोगों ने ये सवाल किया है। बहुत से उन हालात में पहुंचकर सवाल करते हैं कि मेरे फ़लाँ अज़ीज़ का इंतकाल हो गया है, वी डोंट नो व्हाट टू डू। और यकीनन ये एक ऐसा क्वेश्चन है जो कि बहुत जल्द मेरे घर से, मेरे बारे में भी किसी ने करना है, और अल्लाह ना करे हर घर में एक दिन ये सवाल किया जाना है। हो सकता है कि बच्चे वालिदैन के लिए करें या वालिदैन अल्लाह ना करे बच्चों के लिए, लेकिन ये एक ऐसी हकीकत है कि इससे निगाहें नहीं चुराई जा सकती। We live in Canada. In this country, everything goes by the book, by the rules and regulations. So यहाँ पर तदफीन के कि जब इंसान दुनिया से रुखसत हो जाए, अब उसके आगे के अवामिल क्या हैं। हम इस ज़िंदगी के अवामिल में इतने मसरूफ़ अमल हैं कि हम उस पर गौर और फ़िक्र करना भी ज़रूरी नहीं समझते। ता वक़्ते के खुदा न खास्ता किसी के घर में वाक़अतन हज़रत इज़राइल अलैहिस्सलाम तशरीफ़ ले आएँ और मेरे या आपके किसी महबूब अहले खाना की रूह अपने साथ ले चलें, और फिर हमें एहसास होता है कि वी डू नॉट इवन नो व्हाट टू डू। ये ऐसी सच्चाई है, चाहे मुझे सुनना अच्छा लगे ना लगे, चाहे मेरा दिल इससे सुनने से ही घबराहट की तरफ माइल हो जाए, चाहे मैं इस मौजू को पसंद करूं या ना करूं, लेकिन एक ना एक दिन मुझे और आपको इसका सामना करना है। मुझसे बेशुमार दोस्तों ने कहा कि तारिक भाई इस बारे में एक प्रोग्राम करें, एक अवेयरनेस होनी चाहिए कि व्हाट इफ़ गॉड फॉरबिड इवन माई सेल्फ और एनी वन इन माई फैमिली passes away all of a sudden via accident, being sick or hospitalized for so many months and years, and we do not even know what to do next. आज इसी मौजू पर बात करने के लिए कि हमें ये मुकम्मल मालूमात हमारे दामनगीर हों, हमारे जहन के गोशे में मौजूद हों कि अगर किसी वक्त भी खुदा ना करे ऐसा कोई हादसा पेश आता है तो हमें ये मालूम होना चाहिए कि कानूनी तौर पर व्हाट इज़ द प्रोसेस, कि हम अपने उस अज़ीज़ को अपने घर की चार दीवारी से या हॉस्पिटल के कमरे से या खुदा न खास्ता किसी ऐसे मकाम पर कि जहाँ उसकी रूह कब्ज़ होना लिखा हुआ था, उस मकाम से उसकी उस कब्र तक जहाँ कुदरत ने उसकी मट्टी मुकर्रर फरमाई है, उस मकाम तक पहुँचाने का उसूल, तरीक़, उसलूब क्या है, कानून क्या कहता है, उसूल, कवाइद, ज़वाबित किस तरफ इशारा करते हैं। इस मौज़ू पर गुफ्तगू करने के लिए मेरे साथ एक इंतहाई मोहतरम मुकर्रम शख्सियत मौजूद हैं माशाअल्लाह। आइए उनसे हम आपका तारुफ़ करवाते हैं। जनाब हज़रत अल्लामा मौलाना मुफ्ती मोहम्मद असलम साहिब। क़िबला मुफ्ती मोहम्मद असलम साहिब, अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाह।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुह.
Thank you very much for your time, and as I just mentioned in my intro, I found you are the person I needed badly here to talk about this topic. इससे पहले कि हम इस मौजू पर आएँ, I want please introduce yourself to all our viewers watching you right now around the country and the world via Facebook and Z9 television, all social media. They are watching. Please introduce yourself and your organization as well.
Okay, first of all, Jazakallah for giving me this opportunity. That's a big introduction you give for me. Jazakallah for that. My name is Aslam, last name Nakhuda. I am the Imam at Makki Masjid in Brampton, and part of my responsibilities is to take care of our deceased relatives. And we have a team of people who help out. Our masjid, Makki Masjid, or the Islamic Society of Peel, is probably one of the oldest masjids in the Peel region. Alhamdulillah, the current structure we have maybe 25 years old. The land itself maybe 40, 50 years old. It's very old masjid, alhamdulillah, and very established masjid. And so for the last approximately 30 years, any of our deceased relatives who pass away in Peel region, or in fact any of the GTA, we assist in taking care of them, in helping out the families. It's a big responsibility, yes, but alhamdulillah we have a big team of people helping out.
Mufti Sahib, thank you very much. And like I mentioned in my intro, that this is the ultimate truth. We have to leave this world one day. But this is also very much true that this is probably the most ignored subject to talk about. And
yeah,
it is,
absolutely.
of course, very strange. But that's the reason I wanted you to be on board and make people realize. So इससे पहले कि before we go to a topic, हम थोड़ा सा हमारे नाज़रीन को इस चीज़ का एहसास दिलाएं कि इसका इल्म होना क्यों ज़रूरी है. Why it is important for having your number, Makki Masjid number, in my phone's database. What is the advantage of it, Mufti Sahib?
Okay, so especially in this part of the world where information is not as readily available, what happens with our neighbors, what happens with our family members, sometimes it takes time for us to receive the information. In such a time, it would be the best case scenario to have Makki Masjid phone number, or any of the larger masajids that deal with the funeral services, to have their phone, so that the family is not so. When a relative passes away, families are in extreme difficulty, especially if it is unexpected. If the person was a young person, he passes away, family is extremely confused. They don't know where to go. Unfortunately, in such a circumstance, if we don't phone the correct people, it is quite possible that there are very unscrupulous organizations out there who will take advantage of the family members and their grief. What should have cost, for example, much less, some organizations will charge huge amounts of money for this because they know that the families are confused, they are grief-stricken. So alhamdulillah, if we have the phone number present with us, there are two benefits to this. Primary benefit is to ourselves. As you said, we all must die. If we have already made the arrangements for our passing, our mind will always be there. Exactly. We are just for example, when we are going back home, Ghar jaane se pehle, we make the preparations. We know we're going there. We make the preparations beforehand. We make the tickets and the visas, and all these things are taken care of. We are also going to another place. Our souls are going to another place. We make preparations, so our minds are also connected there. There are lots of people, for example, many people who have they've purchased the land and they know that, yes, okay, this is my land. And inshallah, this is where I'm going to bury. I just incidentally, by a few days ago, elderly lady passed away. I was speaking to her husband, and her husband, very kind, gentle soul, he was saying that just the day before, I had taken my wife to the land we purchased in the cemetery, and we sat there and remembered. It was a connection that they had.
Allah.
That is the primary benefit. Secondary benefit, it becomes much more easier for the families. The families know what to do. They will call the masjid. The masjid, alhamdulillah, it's always available. They will call the masjid. Masjid will arrange. From that step forth, as soon as the information has been relayed to us, everything is taken care of. Every step is made easy for the families. They are told what to do. They are told what should be done, when the namaz will be. All these things are taken care of. And this part of the world, people don't know this. It's something that doesn't usually cross their minds. Maybe they go to a masjid for a janazah, but that's it. They go masjid and they go home. This way,
MashaAllah. Mufti Sahib,
it makes
one question, I happen to be at different places, Islamic center, mosque, community centers. एक जो क्वेश्चन मैं जानना चाहता हूँ, maybe the number of leader of organizations, they must be watching also. Let's say someone does not have any mosque, but there is an organization who is serving community with different aspects. Are they allowed by law to have a facility just for the funeral purpose?
Kya matlab? If they are not attached to a masjid, you mean?
Yes, they do not have any
Like they go.
mosque, but
Okay.
they have some facility, they can lease, they can buy a place and establish a funeral home. Is that possible?
That is possible. They are to establish a funeral home. It is possible because lots of companies do it for profit organizations. But remember that there are huge, considerable regulations involved. I'm sure you can appreciate that. When masjids do it, the regulations are much more easier. But if someone, because we're not for profit, but if for-profit organization establishes a funeral home, primarily they need a funeral director who is licensed by the Ontario government. And in order to become a funeral director, a licensed funeral director, there is almost 4 years of study in college, and then 2-3 years of apprenticeship. These are all things that a funeral home must have. But because we are a masjid, we have, though we are licensed by the government of Ontario, we have a lot of leeway. We don't need a licensed funeral director.
Okay.
We have people like, for example,
I got it.
yeah, and so that way we can keep the cost much less. If imagine if we did not have the masjid providing this service and we had to go to a funeral home, the cost would be so much more, so much unbelievably amount of more. If you give me some time here, I can tell you examples of few families who did not know that masjids provide this service, and they call the funeral home, and the funeral home basically वो I mean इतने बेचारे को मजबूर कर लेते हैं कि they empty their pockets. So alhamdulillah we have this.
Sorry for interruption. जब आप ये कह रहे हैं funeral home, that means that
Yes.
is a funeral home that can assist anyone. Doesn't matter Muslim, non-Muslim, Christian,
That's right.
Jew. They can assist
That's right.
anyone. They are just providing the services. That's what.
Yes,
आपकी इससे ये मुराद है, if I'm not wrong.
that's right. A funeral home is a business.
It's a business. Okay.
The masjid, we are licensed by the Ontario government to provide funerals for only our members.
Okay.
And so when we speak of our members, we mean Muslims. We can only provide service to Muslim community. We can't For example, even though people of other faiths, they have come to us. But of course, we have to refuse them, tell them that we are only by law allowed to provide services for our community, the Muslim community. That is
So
it.
this is a law for the masajid that you only take care of Muslim dead bodies.
That's correct. Only. We
Okay.
are not allowed, there are certain regulations involved, is that we cannot take a disease, non-Muslim disease. We cannot provide services for those families. We have to provide services for Muslim families. There are many other regulations, but this is one of the main ones.
One of the main ones. ये भी तमाम, I think our viewers may be listening very first time all this information that this is how it functions. मुसाब एक बहुत अहम सवाल, ये एक हमारे यहाँ बात कही जाती है, सुनी जाती है कि अगर if someone dies in a hospital, मैं अब अगला सवाल आपसे बाद में करूँगा कि जिसका घर में किसी का अगर इंतकाल होता है then how you guys take care of it, लेकिन उससे पहले ये सवाल, चूँकि बहुत से लोगों के जहन में ये चीज़ है कि probably if someone dies in a hospital, they do post-mortem for every single dead body. Is that true?
Oh, no. The only time the authorities will do a post-mortem is if there is a suspicious passing.
Okay.
If there was not, like for example, a young person who is healthy and just achanak they pass away, or if they pass away in a violent situation or in an accident, ye cheezein mein they will do a autopsy. But if the person is elderly, they are expected to pass, then there's no autopsy, and the only time they will do in that case is if the family recommends, but our people don't recommend. We don't ask for an autopsy. So autopsies are not mandatory. They are only mandatory when there is some type of suspicion involved.
Okay, that's very much clear, mashallah. अब मैं आता हूँ पहले सवाल की तरफ. Someone passes away at my home and I don't know what to do. I call Mr. So-and-so, I need help. They give me your number and I makes a call to you. What is next, Mufti Sahib?
Okay, now there are one of two scenarios. The person who passed away, were they already terminally sick and the doctor had already sent them home for just, it's called palliative care. कि अब घर जाकर आराम करो, अब कोई इलाज नहीं होगा. If that is the case, then it becomes very easy. If they pass away, they would call the nurse that normally comes. The nurse will come, will confirm the passing, and then the nurse will contact us, or the family will contact us, and things will move. Now our staff will go receive the deceased, bring to the masjid. Now, if the person passed away at home and they were not expected to pass, at the same time, there's not it's not suspicious, then in that case, they will have to call the police. The police will come and then they will determine whether a coroner should come and do an autopsy or not. So one of two cases. If the person was terminally sick, expected to pass, then just call the nurse. Nurse will come and confirm and our staff will proceed. If the person was not sick, then the police must be called.
Must be called, okay.
Yes, if the person was not...
Even if I did not, even I didn't even know about it. I just got your number, I called you. So आपने ये सवाल करना होगा कि what happened, how the person died.
Oh no,
Based
what
on
we
that,
will
you're
ask...
going to call the police?
No, the first question we will ask is, what document do you have?
Okay.
If the person was sick, there is a document that the hospital provides. So the family would have that document. That was sufficient for us. That hamay. If the person was not sick, then they would have no document. So of course, then we will say you have to call the police.
Okay, so you have to tell them they need to call the police to come and determine if person's death is not suspicious, and they would give you a certificate. You can call now the funeral home. Is that right?
Yeah, so the police would come, and then the police would call the coroner. The coroner is a specialist who deals with pathology, like deceased people. They are
Okay.
doctors, licensed doctors. They will come, and then the coroner will determine whether there is suspiciousness or it's just a heart attack or something like this. And then if it was just normal, then he will fill out the certificate and he will call us. If it was suspicious, he will send the staff to take the body to the coroner's office.
Okay, so this is clear now. So now I have a certificate. So here comes Mufti Aslam Sahib. So how you take care of the body from that very point, Mufti Sahib?
So the person passes away, and all the documentation is ready. In usually first opportunity, 3-4 घंटे लगते हैं to make everything ready. Nothing, for 12 hours, usually nothing happens to the deceased in the first 12 hours. So within about 3-4 hours, our staff, unless it's very late, then after Fajr, but usually within 3 hours, our staff would be at the house. We would receive the deceased. हमारे stretcher पे, हमारी vehicle, we will take the deceased to the masjid, and the deceased will be kept at the masjid until उनका गुस्ल और कफन और जो दूसरी तजहीज़ और तकफीन का जो मसला है, when that is arranged, family के साथ बैठकर cemetery के साथ arrange करके, we arrange the ghusl kafan at the masjid, and then we take for Salatul Janaza either in our masjid or in another masjid, or if the family decides that Salatul Janaza should be at the cemetery, depending on what the family decides. This is what we do.
But Mufti Sahab, we know it costs a bunch of money, right? अब मैं यहाँ से शुरू करता हूँ. Let's say, God forbid, someone passes away in my family. I don't have job. I don't have money. And just share with our audience how much average cost is for a normal funeral. Not very expensive box or anything. And what if I do not have that money? Mufti Sahab.
Yeah, unfortunately, lots of people don't know this. So normally, depending on the cemetery, because land costs vary within the GTA, but the cheapest cost is Meadowville Cemetery in Brampton, the corner of Brampton in Mississauga on Mavis Road. That there, if a person was to be buried, the entire cost would be approximately $5,600. That includes the land, that includes the masjid, that includes the cemetery, Khodai, sab kuch. At the high end is some cemeteries which charge a lot more for land. So unki price jayegi maybe around $10,000. So it varies between 5 and 10. Now, if the family cannot provide, if the deceased did not leave any money behind, and the family is in a difficult financial situation, the government of Ontario, they provide the service. They will pay for everything. But that is only when families can prove that there is no money. The Ontario government will not just make that decision. They will in fact do an investigation. They will look at the bank accounts of the next of kin. They will look at the bank accounts of the person passing away. And then if they determine that, yes, yeah, he's eligible or she's eligible, then they will take care of the entire cost.
So how does it work, Mufti Sahab? Let's say I don't have money. I say, Mufti Sahab, I don't have any money. Mufti Sahab would take the body still, or would you go for a further process?
No. We will. Sometimes people forget that masjids are charitable organizations.
Right.
पैसा की वजह से अगर किसी को सर्विस न मिले तो ये तो हमारे लिए बहुत शर्म की बात है, I think.
बजा फरमाया.
You understand what I'm saying.
Exactly.
So if the family says that we have no money, and our staff will receive the deceased, will bring to the masjid, and then we will determine with the family if the if the person passing away, if he or she was on ODSP, for example, or they were receiving social assistance from the region of Peel or the region of Toronto or any region, if they were receiving social assistance, then it's very easy. Then we just have to call the region and tell them that this person passed away, and it's very simple in that way. But if they were not receiving any social assistance, then the government will do a lot of investigation. It takes 3-4 days, sometimes even more, but they will do a lot of investigation. And then after they have determined that the person is eligible, they will call us and they said, okay, proceed. And then we will proceed with the funeral.
Okay, let's say they apparently said we don't have money, and government found out they had some money. So of course, then you're gonna go back to the family. Hey, you have to pay us since we found out you have money. But the deceased is gone. The family is mourning. Of course, they are in pain. They are suffering. So of course, there must be some process to get back to the family, and of course, there should be some a legit way to get back to family and get the money from them, right?
So what happens is, if the family makes an application with just say the region of Peel, because the gentleman or the lady passed away, they were living in Peel region, and the family makes an application with the region of Peel, and the region of Peel approves, and so the burial is done. And then after 2-3 weeks, information comes out that nahi unke paas paisa the. Yeah. In that case, the government will sue the family.
Oh, okay.
Masjid will not do anything, but the government will sue, and maybe even sometimes charge them from fraud if they are lying. And in fact, they should. I don't think families should do this. If they do have the money, it is their responsibility, the son, the daughter, the family, it is their responsibility to take care of their deceased. It is, I think personally, it's very shameful if the family, someone has money and they say, nah, government should take care of this. Then what good were you if you can't even pay for your, it's a very shameful thing, I think. I have seen cases like this, and unfortunately it makes me very sad. The father, the mother who has taken care of you, the grandfather, the grandmother, and you have money, and saying that, nay, I don't have, or, it is a shameful thing.
मुझसे सब एक चीज़ और है जो आपने फरमाया कि government would take care of it. I have heard from someone, and I remember one of my friends, he had a twin, a boy and girl, and the boy died, and he was of course laid off, didn't have enough money. लेकिन एक उन्होंने condition रखी. Then the hospital had this office downstairs, and then like a responsible individual came and told them, we're going to help you out with this. But would you verify that the person mentioned that, but you cannot choose like your own graveyard where you want to take the baby to be buried? You have to just take it from us wherever we give you the place, and you go and bury your baby there. Is that right?
That is correct. There are, for any funeral that the government provides for, there are only 2 cemeteries currently, starting from October the 1st. In the entire GTA, there are only 2 cemeteries that are used. In the west, it is Meadowvale Cemetery, and in the east, it is Oshawa, the cemetery in Oshawa. There's, depending on where the person passing, what his postal code is, that is where the government will decide that isko yahan dafan karna hai ya wahan. That's it. There's no other cemetery that the family can use. Must only use one of the 2, whatever the government says.
So not
And
necessarily
also,
where the Muslim area is. Not necessarily.
ye bhi baat hai. This is also very true, that it could also happen that there's no space in the Muslim section for a government-funded funeral, and so the cemetery will just place in the regular area. This has happened.
And you have that moment no control over it. You have to
You
follow the
can zero
instructions.
control. You can have zero control. It is thinking like this, that if someone is asking the government to pay, the government is going to pay, and they're going to dictate everything. Ye karna, ye karna, ye karna. Government will dictate.
नाज़रीन मोहतरम, आप देख रहे हैं रेज़ ऑफ होप विद तारिक गौरी. हमारे साथ हैं मुफ्ती मोहम्मद असलम साहिब. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक वी आर डिस्कसिंग हियर टुडे. टाइम हुआ है छोटे से ब्रेक का. डोंट गो एनीवेयर, स्टे विद अस, विल बी राइट बैक.
KK Travel believe in providing everyone the first class customer service. We take care not only for your air ticket but dignity and respect as well. We are available for you anytime on WhatsApp, even while you are in Pakistan or any other destination. KK Travels guarantee lowest prices and are open to price match any airline.
We are KK Travels under supervision of Qais Khan at 905-367-9433 or visit www.qaiskhan.travels.com.
Are you tired of low sales from your business? Are you looking for the best way to increase your sales? Contact us today and let us show your business to thousands of local and global customers. At Zee9Tv, we are a fast-growing TV channel in Canada. With a quickly growing audience size, we are helping companies and business grow by advertising to a huge number of customers. If you are looking to increase your brand recognition, promote your professional services, or increase your product sales, we provide you with the right platform to do just that, with a full return on investment in just a short time. A commercial advertising platform is the right tool for your business. At Zee9Tv, your business is never too small to advertise, since we have different packages for everyone. Contact us today and get more exposure for your business at low rates. Call us at 647-500-9477.
वेलकम बैक एंड अगेन अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाह. नाज़रीन मोहतरम, आज का मौजू आपके सामने है. हम गुफ्तगू कर रहे हैं हज़रत अल्लामा मौलाना मोहम्मद मुफ्ती असलम साहिब, मक्की मस्जिद ब्रैम्पटन के अब इमाम भी हैं और एक तवील अरसे से उम्मत की इस मुल्क में, इस शहर में खिदमत पर मामूर हैं. बिलखुसूस ज़िंदगी में तो ग़ालिबन हम जिन उलमा को, अइम्मा को, खुतबा को शायद इतनी क़द्र व मदरत से नहीं देखते, लेकिन ज़िंदगी में एक वक्त ऐसा आ जाता है कि सबसे ज़्यादा ज़रूरत अब हमें उन्हीं की होती है कि जिनके बग़ैर हम अपने प्यारों को ना नहला सकते हैं, ना कफना सकते हैं, ना दफना सकते हैं. और आज की तमाम गुफ्तगू इसी मौजू पर है कि इस मुल्क में, इस शहर में, गॉड फॉरबिड, ज़ाहिर है ये एक ऐसी हकीकत है जिसे इनकार नहीं किया जा सकता. अगर मैं और आप दुनिया से जाते हैं तो व्हाट हैपन्स आफ्टर दैट टिल वी आर बैरीड टू आवर वेरी ओन ग्रेव. मुफ्ती साहब, बात जहाँ तक पहुँची है मुझसे थोड़ा सा आगे लेकर चलते हैं. और मैं समझता हूँ कि बहुत सारी ऐसी इन्फॉर्मेशन है जो हमारे नाजरीन यकीनन आज पहली बार सुन रहे होंगे, देख रहे होंगे, और यकीनन इंशाअल्लाह ये उम्मत के लिए इंतहाई फ़ायदेमंद भी साबित होगी. कुछ और सवालात है. उससे पहले चूँकि हम बात कर रहे हैं इस वक्त फ्यूनरल की, हमने देखा पिछले तकरीबन 2 साल के अरसे में जब से ये पैंडमिक शुरू हुआ, कोविड सिचुएशन हुई, गवर्नमेंट ने पाबंदियाँ भी लगा दी थी कि 5 अफराद जनाजे में शरीक हो सकते हैं, 10 अफराद जनाजे में शरीक हो सकते हैं. मैंने ख़ुद भी ऐसे कई जनाजे अटेंड किए जिसमें सिर्फ 5 या 10 लोग थे, लेकिन उन मरहूमीन को बराह रास्त हॉस्पिटल से ट्रांसपोर्ट किया गया ग्रेवयार्ड. वहीं उन 5 लोगों ने जनाजा पढ़ के वहाँ पर उनकी तदफीन कर दी. ऐसा कोई तजर्बा मुफ्ती साहब हुआ इस दौरान में कोविड के पेशेंट के साथ? क्या आप कहिएगा इस बारे में?
So, by Tariq, this was a misunderstanding because जो information जो हमारे पास, as well as the medical professionals उनके पास, as well as the government के पास, at the beginning शुरू pandemic में in March and April of last year, people did not know what was happening and they did not know really the true nature of this illness. And so at the beginning लोग बहुत डर रहे थे, and the people who passed away at the beginning of the pandemic, यही हुआ था कि unfortunately they were directly ان کو دفن کیا گیا. صلاۃ الجنازہ پڑھائی گئی, نہ غسل ہوا نہ کفن ہوا, کچھ نہیں ہوا, بیکاز کسی کو کچھ پتا ہی نہیں تھا اینڈ ریگولیشنز کلیئر نہیں تھی. لیکن ایز ٹائم پروگریسڈ then we were informed as well that there are people who are professionally trained who ان کو میت کو تیمم کر سکتے ہیں, مسح کر سکتے ہیں, کفن پہنا سکتے ہیں. So we have the PPE. So اگر someone passes away COVID کے سچویشن میں, unfortunately family present نہیں ہوگی, لیکن ہمارے staff who are fully trained in handling this situation with all their protective equipment, وہ غسل بھی دیتے ہیں, کفن بھی پہناتے ہیں, اور باکس میں رکھا جاتا ہے عزت کے ساتھ, اور نماز صلاۃ الجنازہ پڑھ کے قبرستان لے جاتے ہیں. Now it's happening like this.
Now اب جو صورتحال ہے وہ یہ ہے کہ even if someone dies at either home or hospital, so آپ باڈی کو پہلے لے آتے ہیں مسجد میں, ان کو آپ غسل بھی دیتے ہیں, کفن بھی دیتے ہیں. This is happening
جی,
right now, ماشاءاللہ.
of course, yes. We as long as دیکھو غسل دینا واجب تو نہیں ہے, سنت موقدہ ہم کہیں گے, قریب ہے واجب کے. صلاۃ الجنازہ is the most important thing. صلاۃ الجنازہ is the واجب part. So at the beginning part, جب ہمیں پتہ نہیں تھا, تو all the masjids, we were just doing صلاۃ الجنازہ and burying them. But now we've come to being informed with the government and we've got our training done. And so now, alhamdulillah, things are much easier now. اب پورا غسل کفن everything is done now.
MashaAllah. Of course, آپ نے بجا فرمایا کہ at the beginning, even government officials did not know how this virus would affect people who are surrounding, of course, trying to bury him, touching the body. So, of course, there were a number of questions. اور اس زمانے میں جو مرحومین پردہ کر گئے, دنیا سے چلے گئے, اللہ رب العزت سب کی بخشش فرمائے, مغفرت فرمائے. اور ہم نے دیکھا نمبر آف فیملیز, میرے اپنے ایک بہت اچھے دوست تھے, he passed away and we barely were there, 10-15 people, and we just let him to rest, and اللہ پاک اس بھائی کی مغفرت کرے. لیکن ان کے اہل خانہ کا درد کرب اپنی جگہ تھا, اور ہم دوست احباب جو ہم موجود تھے, ہمارا یہ درد اپنی جگہ تھا کہ ہم اس کو دیکھ بھی نہیں سکتے تھے, قریب بھی نہیں جا سکتے تھے. That was a big test. لیکن الحمدللہ آپ نے فرمایا کہ اب چیزیں ماشاءاللہ سے it's almost to normal now. ایک چیز اور میں جاننا چاہوں گا, جیسا آپ نے فرمایا کہ انٹاریو گورنمنٹ ہے that they help us. ہم نے دیکھا ہے ماشاءاللہ مساجد بھی اور کچھ ادارے بھی, انہوں نے کچھ فنڈز مقرر کیے ہوئے ہیں, لوگ اس کے ممبر بھی ہیں, کچھ ماہانہ $150 بھی دیتے ہیں, اور اس ممبرشپ میں if someone passes away, so they fund that family for the burial costs and everything. تو یہ جو ادارے ہیں یا مساجد ہیں, تو آپ کے خیال میں گورنمنٹ کے جو فنڈز ہیں ان کو حاصل نہ کرنا, اور اس طرح سے کوئی فنڈ مقرر کر تدفین میں, بے شک وہ ایک نیکی کا کام ہے, اجر کا کام ہے, اس میں کوئی فرق دیکھتے ہیں, آخر کیا وجہ ہے؟
I don't think مجھے پورا سوال آپ کا سمجھ میں نہیں آیا. Are you saying
کہ جس طرح سے گورنمنٹ آف انٹاریو ہیلپ کرتی ہے ان فیملیز کو, دوز who do not have sufficient fund, ٹھیک ہے, لیکن ہم دیکھتے ہیں کہ ہماری کمیونٹی میں ایسے ادارے موجود ہیں اور کچھ مساجدیں بھی کہ جنہوں نے تنظیم ایسی بنائی ہوئی ہے, کچھ فنڈز مقرر کیے ہوئے ہیں, ممبرشپ انہوں نے جاری کی ہوئی ہے. if you become their member and so you pay let's say $50 a month to them, اگر ان کے 100 members ہیں تو every month they are collecting let's say $5,000. So they've been accumulated, God forbid, among those members, if someone passes away, so they can fund the funeral costs from that fund.
Yeah, that's correct.
ٹھیک ہے, تو جب گورنمنٹ آف انٹاریو ہیلپ کر رہی ہے, میرا یہ سوال تھا, تو یہ جو تمام ایکسرسائز ہے جو کہ ایک کار خیر ہے, اس میں اللہ نہ کرے کہ کوئی اعتراض والی بات نہیں ہے, لیکن اس میں اس فنڈ کے کیے جانے میں یا گورنمنٹ کے فنڈ ملنے میں آپ کیا فرق دیکھتے ہیں؟
اوکے, سو فرسٹ آف آل, جو آپ نے ابھی یہ کہا کہ بعض مسجدیں ایسی فنڈ بنا, نو, ایز فار ایز آئی نو, مسجد don't have funds like this. There are organizations that do this. They act as a funeral aid society. They are acting as a basically like an insurance type.
Right.
For all intents and purposes, ऐसे हम कहें कि उनके 1000 member हैं. So if a person becomes their member, उनके मेंबरान में से किसी का इंतकाल हो गया, तो the cost is distributed among the entire membership. ऐसी 5-6 organization है in the GTA. You can find them just funeral aid society है, मिल्टन की भी है, Peel region की भी है, यहाँ मिसागा स्कार्बरो की तरफ भी है. There are many of them. Google कर सकते हैं, you will be able to find them. So these are very good. Member बन जाए, फिर अगर किसी का इंतकाल हो गया उन्हीं member में से, तो if there's 1,000 people and it costs $5,000, $5 it's going to cost each person.
Beautiful.
That's it. And I highly recommend families become members. It helps the organization, takes a burden away from the family. Lots of benefit hai. And when one of their members passes away, वो लोग हमें immediately call कर लेते, because we have a relationship with these organizations. वो हमें immediately call करते हैं, and they know what to do. We know what to do, and everything is taken care of. It's very good.
आपने फरमाया कि मसाजिदें नहीं करती.
No, because ये organization already कर रहे हैं.
Okay.
जैसे कि मक्की मस्जिद.
ठीक है.
जैसे कि मक्की मस्जिद. Already मक्की मस्जिद के साथ जो or these funeral societies है, help. There's 3-4 of them. They already know that to contact Makki Masjid. Makki Masjid doesn't technically need to do this. Already it's being done. If anyone comes, asks us to become a member, immediately मैं बताऊंगा कि ये number है, उनको call कर लो.
Okay. But if a mosque wanna do that, they can do it.
They can do it. It's very good.
तो कर सकती हैं.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
हमारे शिया ब्रदरान, because बाज अहले बैत के बाज community मिसागा के, they use our service, but they also have this. There are people who come to their organization, उनके member है, and they do it only among their masjid. It's also done. Masjids can do this. It's a very simple process, and if they're confused, if some masjid, the intizamiya of that masjid is confused, how should we go about it? Of course they can contact me, and I will come and I will explain to them how it should be done. It's a very good thing if the masjids do it. For our masjid, alhamdulillah, we don't need to, because all these organizations already attached to us.
Okay.
But there may be some masjids in the community, in the further reaches, who don't have any connection to one of the large masjids to do the funeral service. For them to do it, alhamdulillah, it would be a perfect thing. It's very good. I very highly recommend it, that they should.
MashaAllah. And really, I wish I could have someone with me, but inshallah, I will have another program with them, how they are helping community. And of course, the people should know about it. जैसा आपने फरमाया, इट्स अ ग्रेट हेल्प. ऑफ कोर्स इसमें कोई शक नहीं है, क्योंकि हम देखते हैं हमारी कम्युनिटी में सबसे पहला कंसर्न ही ये होता है, समवन passes away, the cost is so much, and of course majority of our family community members, they're kind of hand to mouth. ज़ाहिर इतनी सेविंग्स नहीं हैं कि 10,000 किसी के अकाउंट में ऐसे रखे हुए हों कि only being kept safe for this purpose, which we don't even think about it. ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग, ये एक ऐसी चीज़ है जैसे मैंने शुरू में भी अर्ज़ किया कि हम ज़िंदगी के हर मौजू पर बात करते हैं और बार बार बात करते हैं. वी टॉक अबाउट अवर न्यू हाउस, न्यू कार, ट्रैवलिंग टू बैक होम. यही मौजूआत हैं, हर महफिल में हर शख्स इस बात कर रहा होता है, लेकिन जो सबसे बड़ी हकीकत है जो कि हमारे इल्म में होना चाहिए, इस पर हम बात नहीं कर रहे होते. एक और सवाल मेरे सामने जो मुझे दोस्त ने रिकमेंड किया कि मालूम किया जाए, और ये शरई मसला भी है, अगर आप इसकी वजाहत भी फरमा दें. आपने ज़रूर तस्करा किया इसका कि ये भी हमने सुना है कि अगर आप पहले से कब्र ख़रीद लेते हैं और अगर ऐसा है उसकी इंफॉर्मेशन आपके पास अगर नहीं है कि दिस पर्सन हैड अ ग्रेव ऑलरेडी इन दैट पर्टिकुलर ग्रेवयार्ड, तो क्या आप बाउंड हैं कि फिर आप मालूमात भी करें और फिर उसकी बॉडी को वहीं ले जाकर तदफीन करें हाउ डज इट वर्क, दोनों को जरा एड्रेस कीजिएगा मुफ्ती साहब.
So, मैं personally, I have heard the argument that लोग कहते हैं कि we don't know where we will be buried. So why should we purchase इस जगह पे क्यों purchase करें? Okay, of course, everyone knows that maut and hayat is not in anyone's hand. Where a person passes away, no one has any idea. Everyone knows this. But there are preparations that we are expected to make. Likho, when a person passes away, the first thing from his estate, the man's estate, is to pay for the cost of the funeral.
Right.
That's the first. Before any debt can be settled, before anything can be distributed, the first thing is from that person's estate, his tajheez and taqfeen must be paid for. So, in other words, preparations, to make preparation is a good thing. Now, if a person, imagine यहाँ उसने Meadowvale में या Brampton में उसने plot लिया, and he went to visit Pakistan अपने रिश्तेदार को और वहाँ इंतकाल हो गया. अब क्या करेंगे इस plot का? This plot just becomes an addition to his estate like all other his wealth, his land, everything else. It just adds into it. And then the family can decide they want to sell it or one of them wants to take it over.
Okay.
It just becomes his estate.
True.
Because that land will remain in that family forever. We don't reuse in this country. Alhamdulillah, we don't reuse burial plots. It will remain, it remains forever to the person being buried or the person who has purchased it. So even if he doesn't pass away here, no problem. He will be buried wherever he passed in another cemetery, no problem. But that land now becomes part of the estate. And now the family will decide what to do.
Okay, exactly. So, जो मैं समझ पाया वो ये कि ठीक है, there are arguments on it, but अगर आप इस नीयत से अगर आप जगह ले लेते हैं कब्र की कि ठीक है अगर मेरी मौत यहाँ वाक़ हो जाती है तो ओके, I'll be buried here, और अगर नहीं तो जा रहे कि फिर मेरी फैमिली के पास ये फैसला है, हक़ है कि वो अपने लिए रखना चाहें इसको या सेल कर देना चाहेंगे, whatever they want to do with that. तो इस इंटेंशन से हम जगह कब्र के लिए ले सकते हैं, right?
Of course ले सकते हैं. And they should also remember that each person should remember that if I can remove the boj from my relatives, the better.
The better.
You know, like आपने अभी कहा कि we are not wealthy people. We are immigrant people. Our families are immigrant people. We don't have vast estates. Some of us, alhamdulillah, but majority of us, we are just normal people. Coming up with $5,000 and $10,000 overnight, it becomes a huge burden on many people, on many families. And because I deal with this, I see the grief and the pain in the son's face or the daughter's face when I tell them that it's going to cost this much money, and they are wondering, "Ab paisa kahan se launga?" They're supposed to be grieving, not worrying about where the money is coming from.
Exactly, yeah.
So making preparations is a very good thing. We make preparations for everything else. Why not make preparations? Look, even our elders, they used to go to Hajj. They would bring their ihram back, and they would say that "Ye mera ihram mere kafan mein istemal karna."
Subhanallah.
Isn't that our preparation?
It is.
Someone can use the same argument. Ke ye ihram kyun istemal? Ye kafan kyun? Just get any kafan. The same argument can be used. Ihram is also property.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But our elders, we have read so many stories of our elders who had already purchased the ihram before they even, and they would carry the ihram with them.
Yes, that's right.
You know, they would carry
थे, हमारे बुजुर्ग थे, हमारे शयूख थे, वो तो अगर हम बातें उनकी शेयर करना चाहें नाज़रीन से तो एक अलग पूरा प्रोग्राम चाहिए कि वो मौत की तैयारी कैसे करते थे. वो तो कब्र बनाकर रोज़ाना उसमें लेटा करते थे, अपनी मौत को याद किया करते थे. यानी कि वो तो एक अलग ही दुनिया थी, वो अलग ही लोग थे. मैं और आप अब जिस दुनिया में रह रहे हैं, इट्स अ होल डिफरेंट वर्ल्ड. अब तो अगर ऐसी बातें हम करें तो बच्चे हम पर हंसते हैं कि what are they talking about. चूँकि हमने अब दुनिया को मतमय नज़र बनाकर बस जीना मकसूद समझ लिया है। बहरहाल मेरी और आपकी ये अदना सी कोशिश है इंशाअल्लाह कि हम लोगों तक ये सोच फ़िक्र हम पैदा कर सकें, उन तक पहुंचा सकें। और आज की इस गुफ्तगू से चूँकि वक्त हमारा ख़त्म हो रहा है, एक आखिरी सवाल आपसे, क्या कोई ऐसी पॉसिबिलिटी है कि जिस तरह आपने फरमाया चंद ऐसी मसाजिदें हैं जिनके पास इंतज़ामात मौजूद हैं GTA के अंदर, चंद तंजीमात ऐसी हैं कि जो एक मेंबरशिप के ज़रिए लोगों के फ्यूनरल कॉस्ट को भी कवर करती हैं, कि कोई ऐसा एक हॉटलाइन नंबर हो कि ये तमाम तंजीमात जिससे जुड़ी हुई हों, कि उस नंबर पर एक ही नंबर मेरे पास हो, उसको डायल करें और सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन हमें मिल जाए। क्या आया कोई ऐसा नंबर है, या अगर हम सजेस्ट करते हैं कि ऐसा होना चाहिए तो आपकी उस पर क्या राय है मुफ्ती साहब?
Sounds like a very good idea. Yeah, in fact, ऐसा अभी फिलहाल तो ऐसा नहीं है.
ऐसा नहीं है.
But we should be thinking in this कि एक ही नंबर पर you call in all the services of every organization, everything is वहाँ मौजूद. That would be इसके बारे में इंशाल्लाह we will think about this, best way to proceed with this.
इसका फिर जाएगा, क्रेडिट जाएगा हमारे Z9 के इस प्रोग्राम को इंशाल्लाह, कि यहाँ से आइडिया आया था इंशाल्लाह. Because I was thinking about it when I was preparing myself for this program, so I did thought about it कि जितने इदारे इससे मुताल्लिक़ हैं तो फिर उस पर हो कि इफ़ यू नीड इंफॉर्मेशन फॉर दिस प्रेस 1, फॉर दैट प्रेस 2. सो जो मुझे इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए वहाँ जो कंसर्न डिपार्टमेंट है, ये जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, वो नंबर वहाँ फॉरवर्ड हो जाए एंड आई गेट ऑल द इंफॉर्मेशन फ्रॉम वन नंबर रादर हैविंग 10 डिफरेंट नंबर्स फॉर 10 डिफरेंट सर्विसेज. तो मेरा ख्याल है कि ये भी एक अहसन कदम हो सकता है. मुफ्ती साहब, टाइम हमारा मुकम्मल हो चुका है. जाने से पहले हमारे नाजरीन को कोई नसीहत करना चाहें इस हवाले से, प्लीज़ आपका टाइम है.
Well, first of all, Bhai Tariq, Jazakallah to you and to your listeners for giving me this opportunity to express myself. I am hopeful that we have learned, jo kya jo suna, we've learned a few things. And my only bit of advice, because we are very intelligent people, my bit of advice is that death is a reality. And it is the only reality that no one can deny.
Exactly.
Every other realities people deny. You know, even the existence of Allah, people accept, people reject. But this death, it's a reality that no one denies. And even the one who denies, he dies. Everyone must accept it. And because it is like this, we prepare ourselves for this eventual coming. We prepare ourselves right now for the eventual coming. You know, मैंने बहुत जनाजे पढ़े. So many I have participated in. I have seen the griefs of people. When the person dies, all these hatreds and all the angers and all the jealousies that used to make us angry and hot, they don't mean anything anymore.
No more.
Yeah. Even the person who is passing, every deceased person who is in front of me, a lot of times I think to myself, he probably had so many desires and wants, and you know, maybe he fought with his sister and maybe fought with his brother. All that's gone now. It was all meaningless. It was so inconsequential, so little.
Exactly.
Now he's gone. So I'm saying that we be kind to each other, we be gentle and generous to each other, we worship our Allah and we remember Him, and we accept that our going from this world is to going to a better life. That's my advice.
Thank you very
Jazakallah
much.
Tariq.
Thank you very much. May Allah bless you for all this great information, and I hope inshallah Aziz, my brothers, sisters around the country, around the world, this city, whoever is watching right now must have felt that touch of the taste of the death. ये एक ऐसा जायका है जो अनकरीब मुझे आपको हम सबको चखना है. उसके लिए हमने जो आज गुफ्तगू की है, यकीनन वो उस तैयारी की है जो इस वक्त मैं दुनिया में नहीं हूँ, एंड माई फैमिली इंशाअल्लाह टेकिंग केयर ऑफ इट. बट जब मैं ज़िंदा हूँ اس کی تیاری آف کورس مجھے ہی کرنی ہے. تو اس لمحہ سے پہلے کہ جب وہ لمحہ آ جائے کہ اب مفتی صاحب از ریڈی ٹو ٹیک مائی باڈی فار فیونرل اینڈ تجہیز و تکفین واٹ ایور، اس لمحہ سے پہلے مجھے اپنے رب کی بارگاہ میں سر بسجود رہنا ہے، اس کا مطیع بننا ہے، اس کے پیارے محبوب کی لائی ہوئی پیاری شریعت پر عمل کرنا ہے. اور کامیابی کا یہی زینہ ہے کہ انشاءاللہ اگر یہ اطاعت مقبول ہو گئی تو بے شک وہ جنازے بھی الحمدللہ اسی خوبصورتی کے ساتھ اٹھائے جاتے ہیں. اور ذاتی طور پر میں نے بھی محسوس کیا ہے، مفتی صاحب نے بھی اس کا اشارہ فرمایا کہ ایسے جنازے جب اٹھائے جاتے ہیں اس میں کوئی شک و شبہ نہیں کہ فرشتوں کا بھی نزول ہوتا ہے، اس کی قبر پر نور ہوتی ہے، ایک مسحور سی کیفیت ہوتی ہے، خوشبو ہوتی ہے. یہ ان اعمال کی ہوتی ہے جو میں اور آپ اس وقت دنیا میں زندہ رہتے ہوئے اپنے تئیں کوشش کر رہے ہوتے ہیں. وہ قبول فرمائے. حاضرین محترم، ہمارے ساتھ رہنے کا بہت بہت شکریہ. امید ہے آج میں نے اور آپ نے یقیناً اپنے لیے ایک بہت اچھا سبق حاصل کیا ہے اور کر رہے ہیں اور کرتے رہیں گے. دیکھتے رہیے ریز آف ہوپ طارق خوری. انشاءاللہ پھر آپ سے اگلے ہفتے پھر ملاقات ہوگی ایک نئے موضوع کے ساتھ، ایک نئی معلومات سے بھرپور پروگرام کے ساتھ. اب تک رخصت دیجیے گا. والسلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ.
Welcome to the world of flavors, where we treat your taste buds to celebrate and share the happiness, no matter how big or small they are. Welcome to Shireen Mahal, now with 4 locations in the GTA, where you get the best quality traditional Desi sweets, chicken tikka patties, hunter beef, cakes, pastries, carrot halva, halva puri on weekends served with Kashmiri chai, and much more. At Shireen Mahal, serving at 4 locations in GTA, where you get the best quality traditional Desi sweets.
وقت کے ساتھ ساتھ ہر چیز کی قیمت بڑھتی ہے، مگر کامیاب ہے صرف وہ لوگ جو اس کی گھن گرج کو سمجھتے ہیں. تو ملیے ریئل اسٹیٹ مارکیٹ کے ایکسپیرینسڈ ریئل اسٹیٹ پروفیشنل واجد ملک سے. جی ٹی اے میں ریئل اسٹیٹ مارکیٹ کے ہر انداز سے واقف. آپ فرسٹ ٹائم بائر ہیں یا ایگزسٹنگ اونر جو گھر خریدنا یا بیچنا چاہتے ہیں، کانٹیکٹ ناؤ واجد ملک at 416-827-3333. Wajid Malik, trusted name in the community. GTA की top of the line quality printing में we are the leaders with lowest prices in town. We are Z9 Media. Top quality और lowest prices है guaranteed. हर तरह की graphic designing और printing services from huge banners to posters, real estate signs, vinyl, magnet flyer, business card. Your one-stop shop for all signs and printing needs. Call now 647-500-9477. Z9 Media.
خوبصورت اور دلکش گھر کا خواب یا بزنس کے لیے مناسب جگہ اور شاپس کی تلاش، یا پھر انویسٹمنٹ کے ذریعے چاہتے ہیں بہترین منافع. صرف یہی نہیں بلکہ پراپرٹی رینٹ پر لینا اور دینا ہوا آسان. جی ہاں، ہم ہیں ہر وقت آپ کی خدمت کے لیے پیش. ریئل اسٹیٹ کی دنیا کا جانا پہچانا نام ذکی احسن، ہر سال ٹاپ سیلز کے ایوارڈ یافتہ، سینچری 21 کا قابل اعتماد نمائندہ. تو ابھی کال کیجئے 416-879-6537.
If you want to buy or sell residential, commercial, investment property, then call Gold Award winner and certified negotiation expert Zach Hassan at 416-879-6537.
Injuries not only impact you, but also people around you. Life is better than this. Let's get your life back. The injury lawyers at Alam Law will use their years of experience to handle your claim so that you can focus on your recovery. And remember, you don't pay until we win. Alam Law.
کامیابی ملتی ہے نالج اور ایکشن سے ایٹ دا رائٹ ٹائم اینڈ ایٹ دا رائٹ پلیس. اسی لیے ملیے ریئل اسٹیٹ میں کامیابی کی ضمانت عامر ریاض کے ساتھ. experienced, honest and dedicated real estate expert, जिनके साथ अब प्रॉपर्टी लिस्ट कीजिए सिर्फ 1% कमीशन पर. So buy, sell or invest with Amir Riaz. Call now at 416-319-2637.
आपके रिश्तों का खूबसूरत आईना जिसमें अपनेपन का एहसास है, प्यारा सा अटूट विश्वास है, जिसकी जगह कोई नहीं ले सकता, जो आपके फसानों को हंसी बनाए, बचपन के ख्वाबों को हकीकत बनाए और आपके सौंदर्य को चार चांद लगाए. अल मदीना ज्वेलर्स, विश्वास अपनेपन का.
रियल एस्टेट की दुनिया में एक बाएतमाद और काबिले भरोसा नाम, ऑनेस्ट एंड डेडिकेटेड रियल एस्टेट प्रोफेशनल महमूद भुल्लर आपकी बजट, फाइनेंशियल सिचुएशन और पसंद की लोकेशन पर परफेक्ट रेजिडेंशियल और कमर्शियल प्रॉपर्टी दिलवाना है इनका काम. गारंटीड सेटिस्फेक्शन का एक ही नाम, महमूद भुल्लर फ्रॉम रॉयली पेड सिग्नेचर रियलिटी ब्रोकरेज. मजीद मालूमात के लिए अभी कॉल में लाएं 416-452-0505.
जिंदगी नाम है भरोसे का, हर सुबह नई उम्मीद का, और रियल एस्टेट में इसी भरोसे और उम्मीद के साथ बाएतमाद और जाना पहचाना नाम सलमान सैयद. क्योंकि मार्केट चाहे जैसी भी हो, अगर सच का साथ है तो क्या बात है. सो रियल एस्टेट बाइंग, सेलिंग या इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए अभी कॉल करें सलमान सैयद at 416-505-3337.
More shopping?
Yes, on my home.
Welcome to Pan Am Blinds Limited. My name is Bobby, and I would like to introduce our very newest product. It is only with us with Pan Am Blinds in improved.
It's combination of
and silver shades, so Venus shades, or Shangri-La shades. So it's a very unique and new product in different color. It's an energy saver. You can save your 85% energy, and also it has child safety features over here. If you see here, if it goes down, it will open itself, and you will see through from this, but ultraviolet rays controlled. No UV light will come in, and you can see out, and people, they can see very slightly. Please come to our store and see how many beautiful colors we do have, and enjoy your comfort of life.
कनाडा, सरमायाकारी के लिए जन्नत. टोरंटो की गुंजान आबादी के बायस अब आबादकारी दूसरे शहरों में, ओटावा, ब्रैम्पटन, मिसिसागा, किंगस्टन और दीगर शहर अब सरमायाकारी और आबादकारी के लिए आइडियल. आप कमर्शियल, रेजिडेंशियल या इंडस्ट्रियल प्रॉपर्टी खरीदने या बेचने का इरादा रखते हो तो टीम ऑफ सैयद को एक दफा कॉल लाजमी कीजिए. हम आपको बताएंगे कि आपके सरमाए का सही इस्तेमाल कहाँ है. लंदन, साउथ एशिया, फॉर ईस्ट, मिडिल ईस्ट, यूरोप और नॉर्थ अमेरिका की रियल एस्टेट मार्केट का 25 साल तजुर्बा रखने वाली सैयद टीम को कॉल कीजिए 613-276-0398. Sayyid's team, coast to coast real estate with Royal Star Realty.
Are you purchasing a new home, looking to get a new mortgage, or renewing your existing mortgage? Kamran Qureshi is here to guide you through the mortgage approval process to get you the lowest available rates in the market. Kamran makes you feel right at home while helping you select the right residential mortgage solution that meets your need. Kamran specializes in residential mortgages for primary or investment properties, refinancing for debt consolidation, renovation or investments, transfer from other lenders for mortgage renewals, serving the community for 17 years. For best mortgage rates and trusted advice, call Kamran Qureshi today at 647-280-6663.
Real Link Law Professional Corporation. We take pride in our work ethic to have assisted a variety of clients for more than 10 years. Buying or selling a house can get stressful. We understand the importance of such transactions. Let us offer a hand to make this life-changing transition a smooth one for you. Real Link Law's professional team will provide you with the most appropriate solution and pleasing representation to your immigration needs. We cover extensive services including real estate law, immigration law applications and representation, wills and power of attorney, commissions and notary public.
Dealing with legal matters requires trustworthy and proper representation. We aim to provide the same here at Real Link Law. We deal with real estate law, immigration, and wills and estate laws. Come and experience yourself. Looking forward to assist you.
Let us make a difference to your experience through our services. Real Link Law Professional Corporation, 302 250 Consumers Road, North York, Ontario, M2J 4V6 Canada. Phone number 416 497 6060.